now listening to Mike's Opinion, Logic Unleashed.
Logic Unleashed. You know that's how we do here at the Mike's Opinion Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Of course, you are now listening to the Mike's Opinion Podcast, as my lovely wife introduced. This was going to be, or is going to kind of be, an update episode. But at the beginning of every episode, I always ask how you doing, and I still want to know. But I'm just let you know I ain't really in the mood. Usually, you guys know me, right? Those that have followed me, by the way, please like, follow, share, subscribe, and do all that. And comment, reach out to me at mikesopinionshow@gmail.com. But y'all that have followed me, of course, thank you, and I always appreciate it. But y'all know I'm a happy man, right? Typically upbeat, ready for anything. And I'm still that, but a much more subdued version. And one of the reasons why is because of the state of shit right now. So I try to do an update episode once a month. The month is coming to a close. So I said, let me go ahead and do this update episode. It's usually a lighter episode. I can bring some levity and some comic relief because I usually see things through the lens of optimism. Things are always going to be better than worse. For me, the glass is always half full. For me. Doing the research for this update episode just fucking bummed me out. And if you are like me and you're a compassionate, empathetic, kind, caring individual, the last couple of weeks, I've often said you got to fight for your right to be happy these days because it doesn't matter where you get your information from. The regular news channels, cable news channels, social media, word of mouth, newspapers, magazines. It's just all bad shit. And even me, a good man and a happy man, sometimes can feel overwhelmed. As a matter of fact, I want to refer everyone who feels the same way right now to an episode that I did earlier this month, or I released earlier this month. It's titled How to Stay Positive in a World That is Littered with Negativity. Again, that's episode 16 of season 4, which was just earlier this month. How to Stay Positive in a World That is Littered with Negativity. And I definitely need to go back and listen to my own episode. And I know some of the things I said because I said it. But they found the count is up to 51 migrants, as they call them. People coming from South America, trying to come into America, trying to find a better life. 51 people dead. Right? In a trailer, tractor trailer truck. Then you got the Roe v. Wade decision. The killings in Uvalde, Buffalo. You've got all of these negative things. And like I said, I do research for all of my episodes. And today I was just like, it was just bad story reminder of bad shit. I literally couldn't find any positive news. And y'all know I'm a thinker. So the way I thought with the approaching holiday Independence Day, the 4th of July, as many people call it. I just like, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Chime in. Let me know. You know, I like to be a source of optimism and positivity. Maybe I need y'all today to be a source of, hope and optimism for me. I'm still me. And I know when we look at history, we've kind of been here before as humans, generally speaking. But just doing the research, reading all this bad shit just got me like, ugh. And I came really close to just throwing out a best of episode, just one of the more popular episodes and not even recording a day. But I wouldn't be keeping it real with you. And I always want to keep it 100 with y'all. I'm human. I'm just not happy every fucking day. I'm just, some days like today, it's got me feeling a little bummed. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with human beings? I'm not perfect, but if more people were like me, it would be a much better planet. It'd be a peaceful planet, be a kinder planet, be a fucking kumbaya planet. Instead of Earth, we'd name it Welcome to Kumbaya. But y'all know I'm a dreamer, right? Yes, I am. And I'm not afraid to be a dreamer. I'm not afraid to be kind. I'm not afraid to be happy. It's easy to be an evil son of a bitch. It's easy to be negative and angry, to lean into that hateful negativity. I refuse, but I feel the weight a little bit today. I feel the weight a little bit today. I don't know what side of the abortion opinion you are, but for me, I am a pro-choice person, since it seems like we always gotta choose sides these days. And for me, it's horrible to kill babies. Let's just be clear about that. I don't want to kill anybody or any babies in particular. For me, it's about individual respect. A woman who has an abortion has to live with that decision. Just like the people that kill, they have to live with that decision. There's no way around that. You got to live with that. So I am not, and no other person should be allowed to say, you can't do that. It is about a woman's right to choose. It's just as simple as that for me. You have the right to choose what onions you want. You have the right to choose a lot of things in your life. But in a lot of states now, if a woman is raped, if a woman is the victim of an incestuous relationship, she cannot abort that baby. And all of these people that are advocates for the right to life, I get it. It's not like I don't understand the argument. Where life begins and who gets to determine that is debatable, in my opinion. But who are you to say what another person can do with their bodies? That's all I'm saying. I dare say nobody should be able to say what you should be able to do or not do with your own body. With your own body. Back in October, I did an episode called The Illogical Assault on Abortion. Check it out if you want to know more about how I feel about that. But all this bad news that's going on, it can't last forever. My grandmother, in her infinite wisdom, may she rest in peace. I love you and miss you still. She used to tell me, nothing lasts forever. I don't know of a time, particularly for my people, black people, otherwise known as African American people. We used to be referred to as Negroes and other words. That there was a good time in America for us. So this is why we laugh to keep from crying when we hear people say, make America great again, because this shit was never great for us or Native Americans or Latino people, other than white people. Let's just be clear. I'm not hiding from that. And I also always want to just say, I don't hate anyone. I don't hate white people. I don't see a white person go, oh, you're white, I hate you. No, I have white friends. It really boils down to good people and bad people. Unfortunately, the history of this country, the bad people has primarily been white men and a great deal of white women. Mary Miller, speaking of white women, recently won the GOP primary in Illinois' 15th congressional district. So she's going to be up and she most likely will win. And she will be the 15th district's congresswoman. At a Save America rally with Donald Trump standing behind her, referencing the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade and now making abortion illegal in many states in this union, said, and I quote, a historic victory for white life, end quote. Of course, her representative quickly scrambled to say she meant to say a victory for right to life. She knew what the fuck she was saying. She wanted to stand out because there are people that idolize Donald Trump because he said equally outlandish shit. So I told you I'd do research, right? Come to find out, this is not the only faux pas Mary Miller has said. At a Save the Republic rally relatively recently at the U.S. Capitol building, she spoke for a group called Moms for America. And she said, quote, Hitler was right about one thing. He said, whoever has the youth has the future, end quote. Knowing these two statements, one about Hitler and one about white life, has publicly come out of Mary Miller's life. And she's a staunch Trump ally. I believe she wants to be a star, as so many of them that serve Trump. They say the most outlandish shit. And this is why most recently Bill Maher and John Oliver and a host of others have lashed out at the Democrats for being too kind, too disorganized, and not as outlandish. And I disagree with them. Them being Bill Maher and John Oliver and the whole cast of others, is because if you stoop to their level, if you become them, then that's what happens. You become them. Now, am I saying the Democrats can't do better? I'm not. I'm not a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent. The only reason I vote is because the history of voting rights in this America, and as a black man, I feel obligated to do so because people paid with blood, sweat, tears, and their lives to give me the right to vote. So I must. But of course, I definitely feel it's the lesser of two evils in which I cast my vote for. So, with Independence Day, well, less than a week away, about a week or so away, I just got to thinking. And I wanted to ask the question. I wanted to ask, how do you feel right now about Independence Day? And this goes to everyone. I'm not just talking to my black people, because all type of people listen to me because they know I don't hate. I don't hate anyone. Even the people that hate me, I don't hate them. I refuse to become a hater. I refuse. I am not going to hate. I will love you regardless of who you are. Even if you'd like to see me hanging from a tree, I still love you. 1776 is when we here as the United States declared our independence. We are independent country, and the Declaration of Independence was written by Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson owned over 600 slaves in his life. In a recent episode, I said fuck the Constitution because it was written by a bunch of people who owned slaves, who owned people, who enslaved people. How, as a black man, could I ever respect the system, these documents, when they didn't include me and, in fact, saw me as less than human and treated me and my people as such? It's illogical. Today, without any shadow, without an inkling of a doubt, racism persists at all levels, from the individual level up to the highest institutions. Systemically, it's still here. You say, oh, Mike, no, it's not. You're free. The civil rights have been live in my skin. I was about to say for a week. Live in here for a day and just go walking. Walk around. You'll see the looks. You'll feel the vibes. You will feel the hatred, the rejection at my mere presence. I am well groomed. I am not hideous, according to most. I present myself professionally. I don't wear saggy pants or the attire of a criminal. So, I have children, so the fireworks, putting meat on a grill, celebrating this country is something that I've done. And I will continue to do. The dream of what America could be is what I hold on to. But today, I don't know if it's ever going to come as long as we're dealing with human beings. Looking at the January 6th committee hearings, today, Cassidy Hutchinson, a former White House chief of staff aide, Mark Meadows, she was an aide to the former White House chief of staff, Mark Meadows, just dropped bombshells in her testimony today about Trump throwing plates up against the wall, about him like manning up to Secret Service agents because he wanted to drive to the Capitol, which everybody around him said was a bad idea. But this is the type of don't give a fuck that Trump and the Republican Party have now. They will say anything, do anything, brazen, crass. They've been running shit. They want to keep running shit. It is rumored that by 2045, white people will be the minority in America, which a lot of people understood why Mary Miller said what she said about a victory for white life. A lot of people think that's what's behind those words, that they want to stop abortion because white people have the majority, just numerically speaking from the census perspective. So if you stop white women from getting abortions, you're going to have more white people. It's just math. They want to hold on to their majority, hold on to their power. They don't want to share, and they never have. Look what happened to the Native Americans in this country when the New World was found and discovered. There were people living here. How did you discover anything? It's not an uninhabited wild land. No, there are settlements. There are people here. But just like black people, they didn't see those people as people. They saw them as just some savage people that didn't speak the Queen's English. Still working on that episode for Critical Race Theory, and boy, is that eye-opening. I didn't make this history. I didn't make this country. All I've ever done is seek out the truth and the facts. And it is not my fault that the truth and the facts point to one of many conclusions that all have the same summary, the same theme, the same conclusion, that the European white man in savage fashion killed, raped, enslaved, and other horrible atrocities to gain control and keep control of this country. This is just a fact. It's just a fact. People like Ginny Thomas, the conservative activist and wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, is fighting being subpoenaed to testify in front of the January 6th committee. There's a host of people, like a slew, an army, if you will, from attorneys like John Eastman, Mark Meadows, Mary Miller. I mean, of course, Trump. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. These people are white. Clarence Thomas is not physically white, but there's a white man living inside of him. An ugly, evil, hateful individual. And I think that's just evident. And these people are in positions of power and they want to stay there forever. They want their entire bloodline to continue once they're gone. They believe everyone else is subpar, substandard, and don't belong on this planet, have no right to this planet. So, you have to forgive me for feeling the way I do today. because this is what got me here today. And I usually can fight it, like I said, and see it from a comedic perspective or some kind of humor. Try to find the humorous lining in between. Today I just couldn't. There's a lot of other factors involved going on in my life right now where things, I don't know, I just wish things were a little different. So forgive me for being bummed out today. But like I said, I don't want to do a best of. That's usually when I do a best of. I've only done a few best of episodes in the 2 years I've had this podcast. And it's either I can't get it. I'm just bummed, or I'm just something else was pressing that I couldn't get to record that week. Cause as you know, I try to drop every Wednesday at 12:01, just after noon, 1 minute after noon, every Wednesday, and that's Central Standard Time, Chicago time or Dallas time. I hope y'all are okay. Message me, tweet me, DM me, email me, mikesopinionshow@gmail.com. Cheer me up. Say, yo, Mike. And I know I'll bounce back. I do. I know I will. But I just wanted to shout out to everybody and let you know how I was feeling right now. And just to share with those that may be feeling the same way. Because I know that Roe v. Wade, even though the draft was leaked and we thought it was coming, there was hope that it wouldn't. But I know the overturning of Roe v. Wade affected a lot of people, as did the Uvalde shooting. God bless those souls that perished that day. I saw many articles. America's on edge. We're at a breaking point. All of these things, civil unrest is possible, and societal breakdown, and, the war in Ukraine, and, and all of these bad things. Like I said, I need to go back. I have to go back and listen to my episode on how to fight negativity, because I could need that today. I already know the things, music, working out, eating right, meditation, all of these things. I definitely need to lean into those things. Find my smile and realize the world is not over, and keep hope in ourselves and in humanity, because I know there are many, many good people out there. Why don't we run for office? You know why? I can tell you only personally. Not that long ago, I sat on the board of directors for a nonprofit here locally, and I was invited to start the path to a political life. I was invited to certain organizations, but I didn't want that. I've seen people that go in with good hearts, and they say power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. I don't ever want to be corrupted by power. I'm human, and I don't think I can. And I don't think the nice guys get anywhere. They don't get any bills passed and made into law. They don't affect the change, because the evil, which has been in control for centuries in this country, continue to control at any cost, by any means. I mean, you're talking about a country that has a history that enslaved people to build a country that would whip and hang people that didn't comply. Even other white people. If they were so-called nigger lovers, I hate that word, they would turn on them. So this 4th of July, I will choose to be participatory. I will get involved for symbolic sake for going through the motions, the more I learn, the more knowledge I gain, it becomes clear to me that maybe I need to leave the country. My wife and I have been seriously talking about that. But where do we go? Where do we go? And I don't have the means, really, frankly. But support the show, please. Support the show. I have a GoFundMe link out there in the show notes. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, or you can just email me from my mailing address if you want to send me enough cash to vacate the premises. Norway, Canada. I don't know. I need to take a few trips, go feel it out. Because racism is not just here in America, sadly. Somewhere I can move my family and live happily ever after in peace with other peaceful, happy humans. To all those that continue to listen, thank you. I will do my best to have a better episode next week. I hope you have a happy 4th of July. I hope that you're okay. I truly hope that you're okay. And like I said, if you're not, seek out some of my other happier episodes, particularly the one that talks about fighting negativity, because I'm going to go listen to that myself. This is Mike. This is the Mike's Opinion Podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening to Mike's Opinion. Logic Unleashed.